We are Flake, Rose, and Spears, and we are supremely black, dropping content that matters. How y'all doing this week, fellas?
Man, it's your big kinfolk Jay Flake, man. All is well, can't complain at all. Having a decent week. Still ain't got my truck fixed. Everything on back order, windows on back order, all that good stuff. So that joker just gonna have to sit in the garage about another week or so. But good thing I was blessed to have a little. That's why one of the reasons why I always keep a little backup car. So good thing I was blessed enough to have a little backup car to keep me going all the way around. Just ain't finna be no family adventures till it get fixed because everybody can't fit in that little other car I got. But other than that, everything all good. Still moving around, doing these shows. The summer coming around, shows begin to crank up some more. Trying to find some ways to get back out to LA, Houston, and do some comedy festivals this year as everything is opening back up. You know what I mean? D Rose?
Yeah, everything good, man. But I was actually talking to a few people from back home, and I didn't realize that that's just what is really going on. They doing it in people driveways. If you ain't got a car garage, basically your car can get broke into at any time, man. And to me, that's crazy. But the week's been solid. I can't complain at all, really. Get prepared for this trip. Get a little break, a little mental break from everything that's been going on. So all is well. I can't complain at all. How everything going with you, Spear?
Everything good with me. I'm good. Look like I got bit by something under my eye, but all is well with me. Just grinding, working. Actually talked to a lady that runs a nonprofit in Nashville, and she helped put me on game about some things as far as grants and getting funding and stuff. So I'm looking to take her knowledge and wisdom that she passed along to me and her checklist that she gave me and fulfilling that and doing everything that she told me to do in order to help us grow as far as plague and all of that stuff and get some grants in as far as that coming in and everything. So that was a blessing because again, one thing that she stated is we all we got. And a lot of times, you got some of your skin folk that ain't your skin folk that ain't your kin folk who don't look out for you. And then you got some who really don't care about anything but helping a fellow brother or fellow sister out. And so I greatly appreciated her for that because she did not have to do that. She was willing to, and I'm just grateful that she shared that wisdom and knowledge with me. So I'm great. And then again, we got one of your programs that you're doing up and going and about to come out and everything that we starting on the 26th of March for Breaking the Curse, which is our financial literacy program that Rose runs and is the chair of. And so we're going to start the budgeting class. So I'm looking forward to that. So the more programs that we get out, the more that we get to show our faces in the community, the bigger, traction will gain. And as far as, just everything, doing the work within the community, but then also potentially getting us funding to do these programs and all of that stuff. So I'm just happy and excited for everything that we got rolling and going. So
that's dope. And I'm gonna tell you what's crazy, bro. I know we had this episode coming up and I was taking care of some stuff, but I actually met somebody that we both know that does grant writing, that's already has like a job and everything doing it. And so I guess, just the good Lord is blessing us at this particular time because I was like, we're looking in the process of learning it ourselves for sure, but running into people that don't mind helping, that definitely speeds up the process. And so we actually just literally got through having a conversation. So yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. That's dope.
Who that be?
Ruthie.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yep. I had no idea. She said she's been doing it for years. She actually took, I don't know if it's like schooling or however, but yeah. So yeah, she had told me about that when she had reached out. Yeah. So yeah,
And
that's
God,
dope.
yeah,
God is good. He will
God.
won't he do it. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Yeah.
About to have me praise dance. But this week, we're gonna drop right into the conversation. This week we're talking about food deserts and there's so many ways we could go with it. So I'm gonna let y'all just dive in and jump into whichever route you want to take it, because we could talk about why we got so many in our communities. Why is there an importance, or why does it seem to be an importance of them in our communities and a lack of in other communities? I mean, we could go a whole bunch of different ways, but I'm gonna let y'all direct the conversation, and then we just let it flow from there.
Yeah, it's man, it's a sad situation when you take a look at it. But when you sit down and think about it, when you ride past certain neighborhoods, you do notice certain things that stand out. But most of us, as being in the Black community, we don't notice it because we from their community. That's how it's always been. But when you take a second and look around, and you start to notice a lot of differences and changes within these food deserts. It's about 25 million people living in food deserts at this point in time. I did a research paper on this back when I was in college a long time ago. So the approach I'm taking is mainly here in Tennessee. Is 1 in 6 people living under the poverty line in Tennessee. And most of those people live under their poverty line, don't have access to a car, anything like that. So when they do need to go to the grocery store, I do need to, get some fruits, vegetables, things that are not processed that you find at your corner store and stuff like that. They either got to wait on somebody to come pick them up, and everybody has an auntie, a grandmama, a cousin, or somebody. And when you grew up as a kid, your mom say, "Hey, go jump in the car. We got to take Aunt so-and-so to the grocery store," or something like that. Everybody has that one person within a family that you have to do that for. And, it's really sad because I sit back and think about it. I didn't even realize that Memphis is called the hunger capital of the world. South Memphis, North Memphis, it's called the hunger capital of the world because it's a vast difference. And I sit and thought about it when I was doing my research and they gave that name. I said, dang, when I used to go down there as a kid and hang out in Memphis all the time, it's a big difference between one side of Memphis and when you hit North Memphis and South Memphis. It is a huge difference. You might have one grocery store or two within the hood, but then that grocery store might be on the edge of the hood where if you walking, that's a 2.5 mile walk. Or if you got to catch the bus, if the bus on time, it might take you an hour to get there and an hour back, depending on where you're going. Now you go in some of these other neighborhoods, and even when I'm here in Nashville, and the Lord has blessed us a little bit to be above the poverty line. When we go to grocery shopping, we go to a certain area. In that same area, in this one block, it's a Costco's, a Kroger's, a Walmart, a Sam's Club. If you go a little further down, it's a Whole Foods. All these places where you go buy groceries in that one little area. And in the hood, you got the supermarket. If you lucky, you got the dollar store market, which still a lot of processed food. It's some fruits, fresh food in there, but most of that is a lot of processed food and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna start off there.
Yeah, you can definitely tell when somebody getting a little money though, boy. You know what I'm saying? All them good spots you got around you. You said Whole Foods, what else?
Hey, player, we just go to Costco. He ain't blessed us be walking up to Whole Foods now. He ain't
Right.
blessed us like that. We just
Hey,
go to
Whole Food.
Costco.
Yeah, Whole Food gonna break you off. You going there too
Man,
often, man.
gonna break
One
you
bag,
off. You hear
$100.
me?
Yeah, one bag, $100. But nah, man. It's around the same things, man. Like I appreciate the data that you actually provided with it, but I just think that growing up in a small town, you really didn't see it. Getting to Nashville is not really obvious because, of course, you're just trying to, early 20s, you moving the groove, and I didn't really see the differences, honestly, with the food banks until I was living in Orlando and driving from like the nicer part of town, and then doing community work in West Orlando. You see you see like the restaurants. I'm gonna go with the restaurant approach. You see the Church's Chicken, you see the Popeyes, you see the Little Caesars, you see all the stuff that for a fact comes at a low value or that are terrible for you are in those communities. And you may see a grocery store, but again, to Flake's point, it's so far to reach. Nobody's walking the gas, not the gas stations and the fast food places are closer than getting to an actual grocery store. So I mean, it's just by design. And I think they benefit off of it is because those same people that are basically getting funded to live with food stamps and et cetera, they're going to spend it in those communities. So you will see like something as random as we ain't been in the hood gas station and they'll take an EBT card for anything in the store pretty much. You know what I'm saying? That's all by design because those people are limited to where they can get to, and it's structured to where pretty much people could spend their money however, but you know that's not, they're not gonna get anything of any value of anything that they have in their area. So it's like we're not gonna be giving you money just so you can have access to spend your money on the fresh foods that we actually have to pay for out of our own pocket. So that's the mindset I think they went with it, because you don't never see them be able to, Whole Foods ain't right beside the projects. You know what I'm saying? None of that is. So I mean, they could easily be, because to me, I would look at it as that's guaranteed money. But to them, it's like, no, this is actually things of value, less processed, actually better for you and healthier. So now we're not gonna give you those options. So that's where that was my thoughts on the food deserts and how they strategically place them everywhere. What's your thoughts on the Spirit?
My thoughts is similar, but just from a little different perspective. I didn't realize growing up that that's what it was. And then even as I was older, because now that I think about it when we're having this conversation, I'm thinking about Tennessee State, how the closest grocery store was that Kroger straight down Jefferson, but that was still if you walking it, that's a good 20, 30-minute walk. And you know, and then if you drive
Spears, that's a 20 to 30-minute walk from the
one
gate
way.
at TSU.
From where?
From the gate. When it said welcome to TSU.
Yeah.
If you walk from one of them dorms, you got to add another 10 minutes on there.
So, and then just thinking about that, and then everybody know that the only Walmart, Charlotte's Pike, and that's damn near heading to Memphis. Like, you know, so like, so when I was thinking about it, and as y'all was talking, I didn't realize like how much I grew up in those environments, because, you know, as you stated, Flake, you know, groceries is always there, or, you know, you go to the grocery store with your parents, you know, you a kid, you just begging for stuff. Can I get these chips? Can I get this candy, or whatever the case may be? But now as I really sit back and think about it outside of the research that I did prior to this episode, and just think like, damn, I was really growing up in food deserts. But then as white people want to gentrify, and as people want to grow certain neighborhoods that wasn't even tapped into, or certain, you know, areas that wasn't tapped into, and start building homes and start building schools and start doing all of this infrastructure, then that's when you start seeing, okay, the good stores come, the Targets come. That's when you start seeing the Whole Foods come. That's when you start seeing the shopping malls and different things like that, and the commercial buildings. But before then, you know, they was tapping into that real estate and they was tapping into that land, they could care less about what grocery stores was there, how far you had to come, or how far you had to go to get food and all of that stuff. It wasn't until they put their dollars into the neighborhoods that you start seeing the surplus. And so that's the one thing that I was just really sitting here thinking about, like, damn, before they started building highways through this stretch of the area where I lived at, there was only one store around. And, you know, there was nothing but fast food. You know, you could find you a fast food, but there wasn't many, you know. And I know times has changed. We really on a health rise now than we more so when we was growing up. But still, you couldn't find no good sit down restaurants around where I was growing up. You know, you had to go to the city to, you know, at that time, maybe an Outback or I guess Chili's was big back then too, and everything that was popping, and semi-fancy, Bennigan's or something like that. But outside of that, you was just seeing McDonald's and Burger Kings, and them liquor stores that's normal and all that other stuff. So that was just something that I really realized. And then being in college, like Nashville is Nashville, and we know it's predominantly white, but to think Tennessee State was damn near not too far from downtown, not too far from, West End or anything like that, but was in a food desert. When you think about it, was in a food desert. And then the second college I went to, that was in the country, St. Paul's College, the second HBCU I went to, that was definitely a food desert. We had one store in the whole city, and we had to drive 30 miles either way to go to a grocery store to get real groceries, toilet paper, bar soap and stuff like that, like to supply our dorm rooms. We had to drive 30 miles. And I'm just thinking about, like, dang, if we wouldn't have talked about this, I wouldn't have realized how much I grew up in food deserts. And that's just the sad thing.
It's and it's really crazy because we all know, if you really don't even get the opportunity to get outside of your neighborhood, you're never going to even think about it. You're just going to think that that's just structurally how it's designed everywhere. But once you start traveling more and seeing more and doing better for yourself, you realize that, yeah, this was very strategic, man. It's like your point with TSU, Vanderbilt has none of those problems. Like, they have central everything for them to be able to get to it. Like, it's normal. Like, I've seen parents pulling up, getting groceries and dropping them off to the kids. Like, it's not even an option like that for real in TSU. And it's not, like, I speak about my hometown, like, there is nothing on our side of the tracks. Like, you got a hood, you have 2 gas stations back and forth, back to back. You had a couple of hood stores back in the day. This is when I was a snot nose getting off a bus, like Flake was about to get ready to graduate high school. That's how long it's been before it's been anything. And then you had, like, what is it, your Save-A-Lot, your E.W. James. And so it's like, you can get to those little places, but then Walmart used to be close, and then they pushed that all the way out towards, like, this other little city called, like, closer to Medina, because that's where most of the people with money stayed on Jackson Highway. The other people were coming from Medina. They didn't have any place to go. They didn't want to go to Jackson. Move that spot there. It's affluent for them. But people ain't picking you up and driving you way halfway to Medina, you know what I'm saying, to go get no groceries, unless they just really love you and want to. But you can go and get your, like your Piggly Wiggly. When I was in Humboldt with my cousin, them, like, they've almost made you so comfortable with eating bullshit food is that when you get around good food, you don't even want it. And you make the excuse to say, oh, man, that's too high. Like, what? Your health is too high? Like, you feel what I'm saying? But that's just how we've been conditioned to think, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy.
And then
it's worse. And like D-Rose speaking about the smaller towns, and it's worse when you go into those smaller towns because they don't have bus transportation. They don't have bus, they don't have Uber, they don't have any of that. So I remember growing up and seeing folks riding their bike to Walmart to go to this grocery store for their mama. They come back, the little kid come back, he got bags on his bike of groceries headed back home because, like I said, wasn't no transportation system. You had no bus, you had no Uber. We had like one taxi cab, and who paid him? And he was charging up the ass. So who finna pay him all that money to go to Walmart and come back? Boy, you better jump on that 10-speed, ride down the IGA and ride on back, So you definitely feel it in those smaller towns, like you were saying, Spears. Like, when you was going to college, 30 miles away to even get to a real restaurant. So that means that one college person that got the car and the gas, y'all pinch in on a little $5, $10 worth of gas, everybody jump in the car and ride out, and that's crazy. That's really crazy. And then what was you about to say? My bad.
No, the other thing about it I didn't realize, like your little corner stores, the Howdy Doodies, like you said, the Piggly Wigglies or whatever the case may be. That's why they had the T-shirts in there where you could purchase the T-shirts, earrings, just all the stuff that you would normally get from a grocery store. But they knew that, okay, we could upcharge you on this and we could sell it because this is closer and more convenient for you to purchase here than actually driving somewhere else and actually going to get this and all this other stuff. And that's why, them hood corner stores, you know, they had the surplus of the ramen noodles and the, you know, saltine crackers, Vienna sausages, you know, all of that Spam and everything, because they knew that this is where you was gonna come to eat, versus, like y'all saying, a lot of people had to either walking with them grocery bags, bikes with the, you know, with the groceries hanging on the handlebars, praying to God that the bag don't bust open, and then you have to walk with your bike hand in hand and cuffing the groceries like this and stuff. And you know, it's just crazy how I didn't realize like how structurally they fucked us, and how, like, you know, you just thinking that's just a way of life, and you just thinking this how I grow up, and this is just what it is. Like, okay, I'm in a small town, or, you know, ain't that much population, you know, you just giving it those reasons, you know, this just my neighborhood, you know, this just what it is. But then when you actually sit and think about it, and then as you stated, Rose, when you see how people move to whatever city you said, I think you said Moderna or something like that.
Like Medina's the city right
Medina,
yeah.
then they moved the Walmart out that way, closer to them and further away from, you know, the people who actually need it close to them, because they have the lack of resources. And it's just crazy. Like, dang, it's just crazy.
Yeah, and they'll close a restaurant, not a restaurant, but they'll close a grocery store down and won't replace another one for a while. Like going back to our hometown, like they closed down IGA, and then it was a minute before the next, you know, grocery store got there, you know. So you really struggling at that time. But they put them fast food restaurants in there where they giving you two for $5 chicken sandwiches, or $1 cheeseburgers, or like I be questioning myself. Even though I do indulge when I'm on the road, you know what I'm saying, doing comedy, I need to stop and grab something, I will go and grab a $2 burger. But when you sit back and think about it, like, how the hell they just sell me a dollar burger or a $2 burger and make profit? Like, that let you know the food, it ain't good quality right there. You know what I mean? So you go home and get some good meat and cook your family up some burgers. You don't spend more than $1 for each burger you done made for your family, but you can go down to McDonald's or Burger King and get you a $3 and get you a burger and some fries.
But check this though. This is how I started to look at it when I knew we was gonna talk about this. They put it on there as like you're serving yourself a deal, because this is exactly what you're gonna do. When you got a little extra money, you can get one of the number ones, number two, number three, number four. So they get you. So now you feel like you owe them loyalty because they didn't put a dollar million on that motherfucker. You feel me? So now it's, you know, we ain't gotta get that. Now them taxes in. Go get your double quarter pound and supersize it. Get your large drink. And it's like, damn, I was getting cussed out about stopping at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't get I'm gonna keep it all the way real. We didn't get McDonald's for real unless we were coming back from Justin game. Like, if Flake was playing the game, all right, we already know. Come on, about to stop. I'm gonna we're gonna get the large meal, the little Happy Meal, chunk, little Diet Coke with no ice. I'm good. You get cussed out with your mama unless she was really happy. See, we weren't going no McDonald's, but get your ass in there, eat that spaghetti I cook. You feel me? So it's like, but you feel like, honestly, you owe them loyalty because they created this value menu until you actually get that paycheck or you got a little extra surplus of money. It's like, that's the same burger you gave me, but they baited you in because, you know what? We ain't got to worry about Walmart. Going up to the McDonald's, go $5 to $10. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it go. And you just get used to it. You condition yourself to get used to it.
And the good, healthy little fast food spots, like we got a little spot called Teriyaki Bowl down the street, which is a healthier option. You know what I'm saying? Get you fresh grilled chicken. They put the fresh vegetables in there, brown rice. One of the bowls gonna cost, just one of the bowls gonna cost you about $9, $10. And when you hurting, you can't stop and be like, let me get a little healthy teriyaki bowl or something like that. Or even the salads. The salads at the menus, when you go to I don't even think McDonald's sell salads more, but like you go to Wendy's or Zaxby's, them salads be, I don't know. But I know Wendy's and Zaxby's, them salads be $8, $9, $10. But that burger over there, $1.50, bro. We got you.
No, you're right, but the I can't even. I mean, yeah, y'all just right, because when you think about it, it's a crazy game they play. and they got us hooked.
But you know how it's connected though? We talked about this a long time ago with our professor from MTSU, redlining. It's the same exact shit. It's the same exact game plan.
I'm gonna tell you something. I was talking to somebody, man, and you right. You just struck a nerve. I was talking to Miss Shirley, and she stays out in this nice neighborhood in Houston, north of Houston. It's like Kingwood. Her neighbors said that they didn't even. Yeah, you know how nice it is up there.
Yeah.
Like they $250,000 houses coming through like nothing. $500,000 is like the average. So long story short, she was talking to me. She told them that at their community meeting, they're arguing with like the senators and people like whoever their community officials are, because they don't even want a Walmart in the area because that drops the property value. They don't want a Walmart because anybody can come and stop at a Walmart, because the more accessible it is to you, you're going to come. So what you're going to think in your mind is, oh, they got a Walmart out there, let me come. They don't even want you to even think that it's a reason for you to come in their community. I said, damn, you know how much money you got to have to just stop a Walmart from being put in your town? And the only one they allow is the green one, which is strictly fruits, veg, like food.
Yeah, Walmart Market.
Walmart Market, the green one, the little green joint. Ain't no super, nothing. Y'all not coming out here and buying none of it. We don't want none of that. Said the people were saying they were mad because that would bring down the property value. So all they got is a little green one. Everything else is high end. I said, boy, that's a cold game.
How much money in that neighborhood to tell the Waltons, nah, you ain't coming here.
Nah, we
unless
good,
it's
bro.
the market. Walmart Market. That's all we need from y'all. Don't come here selling no t-shirts, no drawers, none of them Shaq shoes, none of that.
Nothing is gonna bring no extra attention.
And you know what's crazy about that? I guess the times have changed, because if you didn't have a Walmart in your community, it used to, your property value would be down. And once you got one, your property value will go up. But now the times have changed so much that a Walmart would devalue your property value in certain areas, because I know still in some areas it would probably bring up the property value, but in certain areas and demographics that it will bring down the property value. That is crazy.
Yeah, because you got Whole Foods and Ralph's. You got these high-end grocery stores now.
Aldi.
Hold on. I'm glad you brought up Aldi, because I had thought about that. Forget. Aldi used to be in the hood. Yeah. Remember, Aldi used to be the hood spot. You go in there, you didn't have no bags, and you had to bring your own grocery bags and put your groceries in or whatever. Aldi's used to be in the hood, but Aldi's is now, that I recently noticed, it's in the high end. It's in the high end areas now.
Yeah, the millennials made Aldi's what it is now because they didn't boost it up the little stuff. I remember when I first seen Aldi's when I came to Nashville, but now it's like you go in there, it's like almost prestigious to go in Aldi. It ain't no, you know what I'm saying. And I remember when it used to be flooded out there. What was it like off of? Was it Haywood Lane or what was it?
Haywood Lane, Murfreesboro Road,
Murfreesboro Road.
All them little spots, all little spots in the hood,
Mexico.
Man.
Yeah, like we was like, okay, we'll go back to Little Mexico to go to Aldi, you know what I'm saying? But it's like and they got it, but it's like to your point, like Spirit, like I couldn't imagine, like right now, if you took somebody and took a Walmart to any of these places we're talking about, that would bring up the value. But just the mindset that you have to say it would devalue it, in the pockets that you got to have, it's like, boy.
Hey, because when you buying $500,000 houses, you got 2 or 3 cars, so they ain't caring about driving and nothing like that. Like grocery stores can get where it need to be. Like if you go downtown Nashville now, it's a Whole Foods. With no grocery stores downtown. You go downtown now, it's 2 or 3 Whole Foods downtown now.
Yeah,
crazy.
The only store that I remember when I was out there that was down there was that CVS.
Oh no, now Bubba, it's convenient for all them people who want to spend $1 million on a condo. They got grocery stores convenient. You ain't got to leave this little condo area. We put the Whole Foods on the first floor. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah. And then I was just thinking about something while I was talking. I don't know if y'all had these stores, but I'm pretty sure y'all had something similar to it. Food Line, Winn-Dixie's, whatever the case may be. But did you notice growing up, before you even probably was like a full teenager, so I'm talking about 15, 16, all of them went out of business in your neighborhood? Like, and that shows that those were the ones who were trying to supply the people that is us, but we couldn't even give them enough business, or they couldn't compete with their competition. I don't know why I can't think of it, with their competitors, that they went out of business.
Put Piggly Wiggly on that list too. You rarely see a Piggly Wiggly. I think it's one Piggly Wiggly in the whole city of Nashville right now. Just barely hanging on.
Yeah, like if it ain't in the hood, you may see a Piggly Wiggly, but if I'm seeing it like in some little sundown town, you can best believe I'm not stopping there, because
Oh no, sir. Oh no, sir.
I'm already knowing where I'm headed.
They've been racist in that Piggly Wiggly for a long time.
Yeah, like these white only pies. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you feel me? Like, yeah, but yeah, man, like all them spots. And I think, like you said, it's like we probably fought our hardest to keep them open, but they can't compete with Walmart, man. You know, they start cutting them out. They charge them certain amounts to get the food in, and that's just all the game. And then a lot of times, what people don't realize, unless you was working at those stores, Walmarts and bigger companies were buying them out and turn them into different stuff. Like,
yeah,
that's really was the game. It's like they would get bought out or they would sell their franchise because they couldn't keep up with the competition. So it wasn't no point.
Yeah, because Walmart was under fire for a while for knocking out the mom and pop stores.
Yep.
For a minute.
For a minute, yep.
Especially when they started going to 24 hours and stuff like that. It was like, bro, how can the mom and pop stores compete? You know what I'm saying with that? Yeah. You open 24 hours, you paying your workers a small percentage of money from what all the money y'all making, and y'all knocking out all the mom and pop stores, man.
Yeah. Because you don't even start to mind that drive when you know you can go at any time. Because the convenience of a mom and pop is knowing that our competition closes at the same time and we're closer. But if I get off at 2 o'clock and I can still go get that bread and milk before my people get up in the morning, I'm straight. I ain't got to get off work early. I ain't got to make no adjustments. I ain't got to tell my wife to do it. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? And that's the game, man, around them food deserts, dog. Yeah, that's all I had on that. Did y'all have anything else?
No, I didn't have anything else.
There are people in some of these food desert communities are starting things like gardens or whatever and stuff like that, where people can come and pick up food that are, you know, in need and things of that nature. I've seen a couple in like some cities. I've seen some in like New York. I've seen Memphis and different areas. Might be one in Houston somewhere around the hood where people just got the.
Yeah, I've seen Houston, and I was watching the news when I had thought about, even when I brought the topic up to you all, it was in Dallas. It was out in some area before it goes from Dallas to another little, like, I guess, little country town, and they were saying where they had, like, the local food banks were bringing them out stuff, and it was impacting, like, a Hispanic community. And they were like, yeah, it's been like this for years, but now it's getting worse because prices are going up. You don't have buses, you know, they are feeling it, but it used to be profitable because I guess they could farm in the area. Now they can, there's restrictions on it. So, you know, it's all kind of games to where they play in the minority communities to where they're going to force you to depend on them in one way or another. But yeah, so for people that are listening, tap in with like your local food banks. Those are the people that are actually supplying these areas that we're talking about that have food deserts. That's how you could help kind of curve what's strategically been planned to keep the suburban communities pretty much obese, of lack of resources. The fight continues from, you know, everything. So anytime you can look into a food bank to donate some food or go to one of those markets and bring it over to areas, there are families in need. There are communities that are set up to where they're giving that food to them, especially since we're still sort of kind of in the pandemic. That would definitely be helpful to go to like a food bank and give them some of your resources that you have, and people drive in to actually get some fresh fruit and vegetables and stuff like that. So just tap into your local communities. For the people in the bigger cities, I don't even know we'd have to look it up and maybe post it on IG or something for smaller towns. I don't know what they're doing to curb it in areas to where you don't even have resources, to be honest.
Your uncle that grow greens and your auntie that do snap peas. That's about it. You got to know somebody. I either know somebody or know somebody. You know, so it's always a little area that or some houses or signs up. Somebody say we selling greens, we selling fresh farm eggs, we selling, but it ain't never in one centralized location. You got to drive around and see who be having those gardens or whatever they're selling stuff like that. You know, they got peach trees, apple trees, there's growing watermelon and stuff like that.
Yeah. Out here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, we have different farms and areas that are Black owned, that allow you to come in and buy some of their goods and services. So like we got the Bonton Farms, we got Oak Cliff Veggie Project, we got a couple of others that I know that are out here trying to service, our people and give us one natural, organic food created by us and for us. But then they also service other communities as well.
When we post this episode, can you make sure that you tag them if they have like a social media or something? Because I didn't even know that myself. I think that's dope.
Yeah, I'll post one. I'll tag one of them. Yeah.
And real quick, and I'm gonna leave it alone, make it real quick so we can wrap this up. But most of it you can blame the United States of America, even though I love living here. But when it comes to food, if you ever leave this country and you get some food in another country and it tastes a lot better, you can tell the quality is a lot better, and you can eat just as much and don't even feel full, but you just satisfied from eating, that's a huge difference right there in the alone. The way they approve food over here makes a huge difference in the obesity problem, diabetes, heart disease area. I've been out of the country a few times and I've ate chicken, French fries, and stuff like that. Be like, man, I don't even feel full, but I'm just satisfied. That's just letting you know that extra bullshit they put in our food over here is not put in food over there.
So when you tell war, that's a whole nother time for another day. But Jamaica,
Totally.
man, I'm talking about we eat about 2 or 3 meals, and it was coming straight on through you though. So you already know it wasn't no preservatives, no chemicals. So yeah, it's definitely a big difference. Pineapple look like pineapple. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but if you I know a couple of years ago it was going big on social media, but like just to catch up out of between us and Europe or whatever, like the ingredients on there and everything was totally different. But that's because, again, America's all about capitalism. They're all about, the dollar, and big pharma run a lot of the stuff in America. In Europe, they have, I don't know why my mind not working today. Probably because I got this migraine. But what's the universal health care? So they have universal health care. So of course they're not going to be giving their people, all that stuff that's going to get them going to the hospital, to the doctors, and all this to get that medicine. So then therefore big pharma get paid. So again, when you're in a capitalist society that's run by a certain group of people that's going to do stuff, they're going to make sure that you putting yourself in harm's way, that you're inflicting hurt, pain, or stress or something on yourself, so then you could spend that money with them so they can make the world go around and make their money. And so that's just the crazy world that we live in. That's to Flake's point, as much as I love this country, I wouldn't trade living here, my experience so far, for anything else in the world, even though I probably do want to eventually move to Africa one day or whatever, but I wouldn't trade my upbringing, everything that I've seen, the privileges that I have had, because I know I have some privileges by being American born versus being born in a third world country or something else. But there's also some things that I would trade, and that's one of them. And so, capitalism is a mug. A lot of people love it, but if you really look at what capitalism is, Hey, I'll just leave it at that.
That's why we're discussing what we're discussing. Simple as that. You feel me?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that. Before our Black Business Minute, I want to shout out Black Girl Lessons, and you can find them at blackgirllessons.org, or I believe they also have a IG at Black Girl Lessons, and they're a nonprofit. Their mission is we are nurturing young women to become leaders who are in constant pursuit to find purpose, even when obstacles and adverse experience arise. Through mentorship, empowerment, Black Girl Lessons guides young women toward living healthy lives mentally, spiritually, and physically so that they may have hope and a future. Our impact, we are dedicated to seeing generations of young women pursue their purpose and walk in their God-given talents. They have different programs. You could go on there and see who they are, their team, learn about them. Again, they're in the Middle Tennessee area, Nashville area, Davidson County, and all that other stuff as well too. And I'm trying to find their co-founders exactly so I can salute them and shout them out. But give me 1 second. Okay, Dr. Terica Arnold is a founder. Dr. Crystal McKinney is a mentor. Dr. Delisa Minor Harris is a mentor. Sharon Harbor, mentor. Maya Foster, mentor. Dr. Kalisa Sampson, mentor. And they have some partners with some different companies and organizations. But Dr. Terica Arnold is the founder. And salute to y'all, Black Girl Lessons.
Salute, salute.
Salute. Our Supremely Black Person of the Week is Kantinji Anakwa Jackson Brown Jackson. I might have messed her whole. I think it's Anika. I might have messed her whole name up. Baby, I apologize. I'm sorry. I'll jack a name up in a minute. But
He had one job, bro.
Kantanji Brown Jackson, man. Look, it ain't like I can Google it and it talk back to me and find out what it's supposed to be. Because they jacked it up too.
You could have watched a video of an interview where somebody said a name or
Hey,
something.
player, look, I did, and I still jacked it up, man. Like, once again, Kantanji Brown Jackson is our Supremely Black Person of the Week. She serves as a federal judge of the United States Courts of Appeals for the District of Columbia, appointed by Barack Obama back in 2021. That was appointed by Joe Biden, appointed by Barack Obama. She was United States District Court. And then she has been the vice chair of the United States Sentencing Commission as well. She was born in DC. She went to she went to Harvard University, and then she turned around with the Harvard Law School as well. She has been nominated to the next Supreme Court judge as well. So hopefully that will go through. She has been a leader within the District of Columbia or DC. So she is our Supremely Black Person of the Week. Hopefully we can get you in as being in the Supreme Court. We appreciate all the work you have done, Ms. Jackson. Thank you and salute, and please forgive me. I'm sure I jacked your name up, so please forgive me. Blame it on my mind, not my heart.
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
But salute to you, Ms. Jackson. And I just want to say you will get appointed. We're going to speak that to existence for you, Queen. So salute to you. I do want to give a little warning to our listeners, to our supporters. I hope you use the CPN for your PPP loan, because Biden is out on your ass now. So
they coming down on your boy.
So if you did something fraudulent with them PPP loans, please, I hope you use your CPN that you got your apartment name in and all this other stuff. And it's not under your real Social Security and your real government issue name. So then therefore you could be out here in them streets with us celebrating and living life. But if not, Biden is on your ass. So I just wanted to put that out there for you. Maybe get your stuff in order now. I hope you set up a little trust fund for your kids or something. You did something right. So then therefore your kids ain't got to worry when you're doing this Fed time, because he on your ass.
Coming for you. They got a whole team looking for y'all. So with that being said, The ones who still gonna be out in these streets after the PP loan, people come on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The indictments come out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You better be hiding. For all our queens out there, put your crown on, tip that thing to the side. Let them know you are a queen. For all our kings out there, put your crown down, tip that thing to the side, let them know you are a king. We are supremely black, and we didn't take no loan out. So we're gonna keep hollering at y'all. All right.
We did it, Joe.